Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name is Brad Lake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be like me. Anyway, what are we talking about today? Today we're going to be talking about Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age. This is going to be a rapid review. Toph wasn't able to come over because I had commitments this weekend. I'm trying to get this out on a Monday for Tuesday to finally get something out because I've been slacking. Too much going on, and hopefully we'll sit down with Toph and do a full-blown review, but I'm going to try to get to the highlights for you for this and let you know what I think about Board & Dice's newest game that's out on the market. So our designer and publisher, Board & Dice, Stan Kordonsky, I'm going to get that wrong, Kordonsky, sorry. He's done games that we like. Endless Winter is a big game. Haven't played that one, but that was really on the hotness for quite a while. He did another one, Resistance, or I think is what it was, worker placement. He started his own publishing company out of Wisconsin. Kind of cool. The theme of this one, it's the Bronze Age, and this was a peaceful civilization in the Mediterranean. Went extinct by the Sea People. They don't know who the Sea People were. Vikings, who knows? They don't say that in here. Just the Sea People ended up wiping these people off the map. But they were peaceful, which is one of the big things about them. They weren't conquerors, and kind of neat. So this is all about manipulating and having some area control on this map that we have here. And but it's not an area control game. A lot of dice action. One of my things about Board & Dice that I like. And just all in all, pretty cool. The mechanics of this, it has all the mechanics. All of them. We're just going to say all of them. It's got a lot. So as we go through this. Player count is 2 to 4. It does have a solo player. I haven't played the solo. I'm going to say the best player count you're looking at in that 2 to 3 range. We played 4, and whereas 4 wasn't bad, you just have to understand that at 4, it's going to take a while. So it's not necessarily, I think there's a bad player count in this, but your time is really going to get extended when you have more people. The time, it takes 4 people, 3 hours plus a teach to play this game. And that's 3 hours. Like, didn't feel like we were slow, but the way and all the actions that you can do on your turn just take time. It's just the way it is, and it doesn't feel like it's a 3 hour plus game. They say like 120 minutes, I think is what that is on here. Yeah, 90 to 150 minutes, which is close to 3 hours. But yeah, it's all of 3 hours, 180 minutes. Being that this is a rapid review, I'm going to skip over the turns, but just to give you a general idea, you're going to roll dice. Those dice have different colors on them. They mean something after this, but you're going to draft the dice, and the higher the number, it means you're going to go first. But you're going to place your dice in one of these 5 action spaces. But if you're going first, somebody puts a lower dice in front of you, you get pushed down. So if you choose to go first on one of the actions, you're not going to have as powerful of an action like this one over here. You only get to place 1 card. Whether you decide to go last in this section, you're going to get to place 3 cards. But do you have enough money to place 3 cards? Things like that. So it's kind of this cool push and pull, because if you get higher dice, then you're able to then move yourself up the track. If you get, I think it's 9 is the magic number, 9 pips worth of blue, you're going to move up the blue. On 9 pips of yellow, you'll move up the yellow. And then the gray is wild. You can assign it to a different color as long as you have a colored dice to go with it. So that's kind of cool. I like all those kind of dice action things. And then based on that, you're going to draw cards from 2 different ages. You're going to place cards on your tableau and get yourself more stuff. You're going to be able to build buildings, which unlock, and I said I wasn't going to go through your turn, but I guess I am. And then you're going to be able to place meeples from your tableau out onto the board here. And then this is a wild action where it allows you to take any one of those other actions, but you can't split them up. So those are all the things you're doing. And then you get a bunch of extra actions. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things you can do after you do those on your turn. And you're going to get to do like 4 different things because you're drafting more than 1 dice. So pros and cons. I like dice drafting. I like the dice turn order because when I go, if I've picked a 6, I have to, wherever I put that 6, that's the action I have to take, even though I may have screwed up and wished I had made that the second best one. And I like this push and pull where it's got, placing my dice here, but then you're counting up the pips to move up these tracks before you go do the other actions. So that stuff's kind of cool. I like the action tracks. Kind of reminds me Gaia Project and all those other games, Terra Mystica, all those kind of things. Kind of cool. Not the same, but similar with the tech track. They have permanent resources, which is I've really enjoyed. So you can get these permanent resources and they just never go away. They always count towards something that you're building or count towards something else. And these give you discounts of, I think, 2 or 3 coins per permanent resource. So if something needs wood and you have 2 permanent wood resources, that can reduce the cost of building something by 6, which is really cool. You also have temporary ones. And when you use these, they go away and they can still give you the discount, but you don't get to use them. So having the permanent ones is just, I think that's pretty cool. Cons on this, the time to play. It's cool on your turn, and you got a lot of, if you do well, you can end up with this chaining kind of a thing going on, and how you're managing and getting your victory points. But you're waiting a long. Are you waiting? It doesn't feel like you're waiting a long time for your turn to come back, but it ends up you're waiting a long time for it to come back to your turn. And I think that's mainly due to all these extra actions. Sometimes it goes fast because you're just going to draw cards and it's going to go to the next person. But, after they do that, they can if I spend an axe, I can move a meeple. Or if I, am in a certain area, I can get a resource to bring it over here. And it's a good and a bad thing because it allows you to start doing some chaining, so to speak, in this game, but then that kind of slows the game down at the same time. So it's a dual-edged sword in that sense, good and bad. Time to teach as another con in this one. I just felt like it took a long time to teach. It was probably all of 45 minutes for me to start going through this, and this wasn't real. It kind of got, what do you do here and what do you do there? It wasn't linear because there's so many things and how it touches and all those kinds of things. But that was the thing. The rule book, while it's not bad, I don't know if I like the order in which it's trying to teach you these things. And that could be, we all learn in different ways. I had to read the rule book and then watch John Gets Games to okay, where's this going? How's that going? I almost would have probably started playing the game, which is page 10, where they, they're giving you some key concepts and some things. And while I understand that, maybe it's because it's different enough, I almost would have rather them just teach me the game and then put the key concepts kind of maybe in it. I don't know. It's not how I teach games, so I found it difficult to read the rules and bring all that stuff home. Another con, as I'm trying to be fast, we've got, I think I said extra actions. So time to play, time to teach, rule book, all the extra actions. But it's kind of rewarding after you get through all of that. Setup, there's a lot. You've got random tokens that you have to put over here for your trade, and it's kind of like another income engine or points engine when you've got all different things that go over here. You've got your age 1 cards and your age 2 cards that you have to get out. You've got everybody's tokens for each one of the tracks to put out, everybody's tokens to put out for here. You've got a stack of permanent resources that once they go away, you don't get them, can't pick them anymore, but you've got a random bunch of permanent resources. It's just all these things in a lot of different spots. And then getting everybody's player board set up. And usually I'm trying to get everything set up before everybody gets there. So I'm having to set up everybody's player boards, and there's a lot of random things just going in different places. You have all these chits and cities, and they're double stacked because there's, age 1 and age 2 cities. And then we've got random in-game objectives. Once you achieve this, then you can be the first person to score 10, 7, or 3 victory points. So there's some different things like that. So it's not the most intensive. It's not Twilight Imperium setup, but it is on the higher side of setup for a Euro game. Let's see. The weight rating, they're saying on BGG it is 3.56. I think that's right after you do the teach. So the teach, if you're looking at a weight rating, kind of like, I would say the teach is like a 4.25 to teach other people and get them to kind of understand it. And I had them actually watch some instructions on it, right? And then to learn it, to actually get it ingrained in you, I found it to be on the higher side, not as hard as Gaia Project to learn, but it was like a 4 or 5 to get it. And once I got it, I'm like, okay, now I can incorporate it and do it. But that learning curve, it was a steep learning curve, I felt, for some of the things that they were doing. And then it was like, okay, what's all of this? How's all of this meshing in one holistic game? So that's my thoughts on that. Value rating. This is where I think Board and Dice shines really well. Board and Dice usually have a good Euro game for what I consider a decent price. This is no different. $48. You've got some double-sided or double thickness tableau boards. The components were nice. I didn't feel like anything was cheap. I like the wooden components that they have. I think they always do a nice job for this. So nothing felt thin and flimsy. Czech games, I think their games are well priced, but at the same time, their games are very thin and feel chintzy, where I think Board and Dice is giving you a good price and doesn't feel like it's, getting too chintzy or too cheap on the components that they're doing, which I think is great. So for value, I think $48 for the experience you're getting in this. I think it's a 4 out of 5 with the caveat that this is a Euro. You're going right in, doing all the Euro-y things. So don't expect to be like, oh, I'm going to play this hour-long game. You are playing a Euro that it sticks around for a while. The BGG rating, not a lot of people have rated this yet. So this is definitely newer. Haven't really seen it on the hotness. And we've got a whopping 34 people that have rated it at an 8.2. So the first people who rate games are the ones that like it the best. They go in here and like, ooh, great, right? I would say for me, it's going to be between a 7.5 and an 8. I don't normally split the difference like this, but the reason I would say is if 3 hours is a problem for you, then I'm going to have to tell you it's more like a 7.5. If 3 hours is not a problem for you, I'm going to say it's an 8. So it really depends on how much time you have. I liked the game. Now, was I good at it? No. Getting the chaining and we had Ashby and Derek, they just soared by Toph and I. But Toph actually had an engine where he was able to come back up. The path that I had taken, I was not getting victory points during the game, and then you score halfway through the game. I really suffered there. I had stuff at the end that was really working for me, but I was really trying to push going up the red track, and you get to tuck cards, and when you roll dice of certain numbers, it gives you things and things like that. I went that route, but I didn't do it in such a way that it was giving me victory points. I was doing stuff, and I was getting things out and whatever, and I was trying to like get a bunch of cards because each one of these cards has victory points at the end of the game. But I, holistically, it just didn't end up working out for me. But, there's some cool stuff here. I really like what Stan did. And so like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I think it's a good game. I think if time is a problem, I got to take half a point off of it. But if time's not a problem and you don't you want to sit down for a 3-hour game, I think this is an 8. I think there's some cool things here, and I think you can really enjoy it. So who is this not for? This is not for people who don't want to spend a lot of time learning the game, don't want to spend a lot of time teaching the game. Even at the length of the game, a lot of people don't mind that, but this isn't as hard to learn as, say, Lisboa. Lisboa is a kind of a beast to learn, but there's some nuances in here and some things that may be new mechanics or new ways of looking at things that you kind of have to be like, okay, what are we doing here? Especially after you draft the dice, just getting your pips, trying to teach that, hey, if you get 9 pips for these different things, then you're going to get to move up these tracks, is just a strange, doesn't feel like it flows from, hey, draft dice, now go do your actions, now do other things. It's just kind of this interim step. And then, oh, by the way, on your turn, you can do all these other things. So just realize that's who it's not for. Who is it for? You're Euro gamer. You're hardcore Euro gamer. If you like board and dice games, I think you'll like this just fine. This isn't a T-Series game, so you won't feel... And I mean, I love the T-Series games, but I think this is just a good Euro. Are there better? Yes. Are there worse? Many. So that's what I think. How long is this video? I don't know. It's probably around 20 minutes. Sorry, not so rapid, but it's faster than Toph and I sitting here and talking to you. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it. I like it. Oh, and Board and Dice did send this to me. I guess I didn't make them too mad when I gave them a bad review on Nucleum. So they still send us some other games. And we've got Windmill Valley to review next. And we'll see how that goes. But I think we've done enough board and dice games that we're probably going to try to do our top 10 favorite board and dice games. I think that would be kind of fun. Get something done. I don't know if we've done too many top 10s or top anything this year. So we'll try to get back to it. I'm trying to give you one video a week. Not promising anything else beyond that, but life moves on. Just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night.